It's super creamy, but I will tell you something. So I had like a non-alcoholic Paloma drink mix from Target, and initially I just had it on the slushy setting, but I did have to switch to spikes to do with the ingredients. But once I did that, it just really worked like a champ. So it may have to do with the ingredients and what you're putting in there. So just be aware of that. If it doesn't slush up easily after like 30 minutes, then you might want to change it from the slush to the spike slush, because that setting really seems to get it nice and slushy. It's definitely been over 2 hours that the machine has been upright, and I'm getting ready to plug it in. I have this non-alcoholic Paloma mix, but it does have sugar in it. So I did grab the manual because I found it kind of interesting. It says the sugar content must be at least 5%. So things that are less than that could potentially freeze and damage the machine. So just something to be aware of if you're used to having sugar-free things or things that don't have a lot of sugar in them. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in for the first time. Okay, let me go ahead and bring you a little closer. I am essentially making a slushie with my mixture that I have available to me. It says that you want to prepare the slushie ingredients and mix them well. Mine was kind of already pre-mixed. You're going to open the top cover, okay, and you can kind of see that there's like a grate type structure, so there's holes through there. And you want to pour the ingredients into the bucket, then close the cover securely. The minimum is going to be this 12 ounces. Let me go ahead and pour. Whoops, just trying to pour kind of quickly so it doesn't all spill down the side. All right, it's definitely gone over that 12 ounces there. I might add a little bit more just so I can share. And then this just says ice cream max fill, but this is max fill for anything else other than ice cream. All right, let's take a look and see what it wants us to do next. I'm going to go ahead and put this back. It says that you want to press and hold this for 3 seconds to enter standby mode. And it has this really cool kind of like screen that you're going to use to select what you want. Okay, so I'm doing a slush. So I think simply what I have to do, oops, and then that is good to note that if you leave it alone, it'll go back off. Let me hold it down for 3 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to press slush. And yeah, so it's started spinning. It's definitely not as loud as I thought it would be. It's actually pretty quiet. Let me see if I can find anything about how long it takes a slushie to go before it's done. I'm looking at the little slushie machine cookbook here, and it says 2 servings would take about 15 minutes and 4 servings would take about 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure what I put in there would be closer to 4 servings, so I'm thinking in about 30 minutes it's going to be done. But it says once the slushie is ready, the function LED light will stay on steadily, the unit will beep, and the display will show call or COL. And then just goes over the minimum and max inputs. Yeah, it said the max for a slushie would be here, so we've got plenty of room there. I'm really excited to see how this slushie is going to turn out. And then, of course, we'll do a taste test. And then after that, we'll even do a little cleanup test. So initially, I thought that pressing this would make the temperature go down. But I actually figured out that if you hold down the snowflake, and it might be, yeah, it goes, that's, I believe it's coldest temperature. And so I just want my slushie to be really cold. So I put it at that. And now it's, it's trying to get itself to that temperature at the moment. So it's been about 30 minutes, and as you can see, it has really just slushed up, and it just beeped, and it hit that COL. So now I'm just going to work on dispensing it for the first time. So let me go ahead and get a cup. I'm just going to use a nice big cup, and you can see this handle here is how I'm going to unlock it and dispense my slushie. Just gonna go kind of slow. And it's coming out just like a slushie should. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get another cup so that some of my family can taste as well. Okay, get another cup here, and it is nice that it is still on that setting that keeps it churning, and so really it's up to you when you want to turn it off. And so here in just a minute, I'm going to show you how to do a rinse cycle, but just want to get this all dispensed for my family first. So here I am. I've already taken a drink of some of the slushie, and it is really good. Really, really good. You can see the consistency. It's super creamy, but I will tell you something. So I had like a non-alcoholic Paloma drink mix from Target, and initially I just had it on the slushie setting. But I did have to switch to spike slushie. I'm not sure why. It may have had something to do with the ingredients. But once I did that, it just really worked like a champ. So it may have to do with the ingredients and what you're putting in there. So just be aware of that. If it doesn't slush up easily after like 30 minutes, then you might want to change it from the slush to the spike slush, because that setting really seems to get it nice and slushy. I'm going to go ahead and dispense the rest of this for my family, and then I'll show you how easy it is to do a rinse cycle and get it all cleaned up. Okay, so we've gone ahead and gotten most of it out, but I'm going to go ahead and lift this lid and pour in my warm water. Might want to do a slow pour. I'm making a bit of a mess. And I left my water on. I think I'm going to get a little bit more. It says that you can fill it up, to that max fill line. So just a little bit more. I also had some sugar at the top that I kind of added just for good measure, because I was kind of worried about that 5% sugar rule. Okay, let me turn my water off. And now we're going to enter standby mode again. Okay. And then I believe this right here at the bottom is the rinse button. Okay, so I pressed the rinse button and it's doing a little countdown here. It's kind of cleaning, and it said that you can do another rinse cycle if the first one, if it just needs a really good cleaning. So we're going to let it do its thing here. It has about 60 seconds or so left on the rinse cycle, but I went ahead and I've got my little container here just to go ahead, and once it's done, you'll dispense it carefully, it says. And then we're going to see how it looks. We'll see if it needs a second rinse cycle. After you've dispensed the water from the unit, you're going to go ahead and unlock the vessel, and you'll remove it by gently lifting it up to leave the unit. You want to ensure that that vessel is empty to prevent any remaining liquid from spilling out the main unit. You're going to take the auger off as well, and you want to hand wash all the removed parts in warm soapy water. It says, or you can use a dishwasher, and you just want to repeat until all parts are fully clean. And you do want to wipe down the evaporator and the motor base with a sanitized or warm damp cloth. So that's important as well. And you want to dry all the parts before reassembling. Okay, let me go ahead. Just gonna slowly, real slowly actually, dispense all that water. I'm curious as to whether it's, I think it's, it's cool water at this point. It doesn't warm it up or anything. Let's see if we could dispense a little bit more at a time. So this might take just a little bit. I'll go ahead and check back in a minute. You can see it is a little discolored, so I'm going to dump this and keep going. We may have to do another rinse cycle. We'll just see. So I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and disassemble this and hand wash it. Let me get my towel ready for the parts that are going to come off here. So remember, you're just going to take this part off, and then that lock symbol you're going to twist lift. It looks like there's a little bit of liquid in there. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. So that is kind of getting that last little bit of liquid out when I pulled that handle. Because what I'll do is I'll just get a cloth and kind of clean the rest of it. But let's go ahead and lift that up. Okay. So now I'm just going to take all of these dirty parts over here and hand wash them and then wipe this down with a damp cloth. So I thought I would just go ahead and show how I'm going to wipe down this part of it. And very easy. Figured I would just kind of get that initial what was left of there off. And now I'm going to kind of dampen this with some warm water. Everything seems to be cleaning up really easily, which is good because cleanup is just one of my pet peeves. And so I'm gonna just make sure that I get this all cleaned off. Then go ahead and grab another cloth just to dry it so that it's not left damp. But yeah, everything looks to be cleaning up easily here. Okay, looks good. And then just reassembling it back, pressing that down. Okay, there we go. And then making sure that the lettering is in front, turning it, and then putting that top back on. What do I think about this Ranvaira Slushie machine? I really like it, and I'm excited to see what else we can do. My kids have already said that they're really excited to make things like the coffee fraps, kind of like frappuccinos, I guess, and also try the ice cream recipes, which to me, the ice cream looks like soft serve that you would get out of a machine, which they love, we love. But yeah, initially I was a little worried because, like I said, I put it on that slushy setting, but I think it just wasn't cold enough because, and that was probably user error because I looked back at the ingredients and that Paloma mix had like lime juice and a lot of like heavy type stuff. And so I think it just needed a colder setting, which the spike setting worked for that. So just kind of be prepared to maybe pivot if it's not slushing up like it should. Just really excited to do some more videos on this soon.